Shall I recall the candidates? Australia, Japan, Korea, Qatar, United States of America. The winner to organize the 2022 FIFA World Cup is Qatar.
So you know the phrase strike while the iron is hot? Of course you do. That's exactly what my friend OIDA did when she found out the World Cup was being held in Qatar. I mean, the World Cup is basically the Super Bowl of soccer. It's basically the biggest sporting event on earth. People from all over the globe flock to wherever the event is being held just to be a part of the action. And when you have a chance to get your brand out there and attract new customers from all over the world, you don't just sit in the sidelines. OIDA knew this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and she wasn't going to miss out.
Okay, so the last time, well, after we talked our last time, you had a quite significant, let's say, business opportunity come up for you. So would you like to elaborate on that?
Okay, so after we talked, we were in preparations for the World Cup 2022, the Football World Cup that was happening here in Qatar. And we were having this tremendous opportunity of representing the kombucha and water kefir world in that one, because we were the only ones in the whole event. So yeah, that happened.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
So kind of describe a bit the significance of the World Cup.
The World Cup is one of the biggest events in the whole world. It's like, I don't know how many fans they move around the world to go, like in numbers, I really don't know. But like a lot of people, they do it, like millions. And in Latin America, for instance, the Mexicans, the Argentinians, they are so fond of it that they spend 4 years of their life saving money, selling cars, doing whatever they can in order to save money to go and be a fan of their country in that mega event. So yeah, I don't really know which one is the other one, but there are two in the world that they are like huge, massive, the mega events. So this is one of those.
So like, when did you find out that Doha was going to be hosting the World Cup?
Oh, that was I think the bidding was in 2012 when we knew that it was going to happen here. It was going to be hosted by Qatar, yeah.
So like at what point did you think that, okay, this could be a good business opportunity for me?
I always had my eyes on it ever since we set up this company. But it became real like 6 months before. And I mean, real 6 months before. However, a year before, I was setting up everything as of everything we need to make a brewery, big one, and like to be able to make all those amount of liters that we were gonna need for the World Cup. But like that was the plan a year before. Then 6 months before, it was like, okay, it's happening. And then it was 3 months before that we signed contracts and things, and yeah.
So you say you were working on this a year, but within that year time, you wasn't necessarily sure that it was going to happen. So in a sense, you were kind of planning on a risk.
Yeah. I never saw it like that, but yeah.
So you now, I don't really know what type of beverages that would necessarily normally sell at the World Cup. So I'm guessing somewhat like the NFL is here, where it's like beer, soda, very unhealthy options.
Yeah.
So I don't know, is that kind of the same for? Because I know at one point,
it's the same everywhere. It's like the biggest sellers are beer, and the biggest sponsor is, I cannot say the brand, but it's the red one with the liquid in black and with bubbles. Super tasty.
Okay, I think I know you're talking about.
We all love it.
I think there was one that was, because I know in Doha you don't do beer. There's no beer
We
in
don't
Doha.
do beer. Yeah, I mean,
So,
they okay. Let me put it clear. There was alcohol, not in the stadiums. There was alcohol in hotels. In hotels, basically, because this is a country that is a dry country. So you only can find it at 5-star hotel. But there was alcohol. At the beginning, they were going to have... Actually, they had beer, but zero alcohol by, I think, Budweiser in the stadiums. And yeah, that's about it.
because I think there was a mention here that they had somewhat made a deal with Doha to sell beer there, but
Yeah.
it then got canceled. I wasn't necessarily sure, but they had like thousands of gallons of beer that they couldn't use.
Only in the stadiums, but they had fan zones, and in the fan zones they could sell all the beer and wine that they wanted,
Now,
but it was only in the stadiums. Like, it happened also in Russia 2018. They also canceled alcohol in the stadiums, but they had alcohol everywhere else. So it's not something that for the first time it happened here or something. No, not really.
oh, okay.
And actually, they rated it as the safest World Cup ever because there were no episodes of violence. Women were feeling safe to go wherever they wanted with shorts or not shorts. Like, it was fine. And I think it's all due to the alcohol, that the less alcohol, the more conscious people are, and then they kind of avoid these episodes of violence.
They don't
whatsoever.
like go into their worst impulses.
Mm.
Yeah, it's also why I don't go to football games here.
Yeah, I've never been to, I mean, here only, but before here, I had never been to another event of soccer or even baseball, because in Venezuela, they play baseball, but my mom, she never allowed me to go, so I never went. Yeah, it was like, no, that's not a place for a lady, and la la, and it's not safe. And then nowadays, I'm thankful because of that, because I never saw how violent and how weird things can get inside a stadium. And in here, we went to a couple, or maybe more than a couple of the matches, and it was fantastic.
So you did get to out of everything that you were doing, you did get a chance to experience that.
Yeah. And we went also to a couple of concerts, and yeah, we tried. I mean, our goal was, like, my brother and me, it was to attend at least to one concert every week or every 2 days, or, like, you know, the major events, because they had like they had concerts, they had something called activations, and it was like events everywhere, like even DJs and small things happening around the city. And there were so many things going on, so I said,
you
okay,
do all this and work. I see why when I talked to you shortly afterwards, you were tired. You had used all your energy.
I need to sleep 16 hours.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I completely understand that way more now.
Yeah.
You burnt that candle on both ends.
Because this is a country that is so quiet all the time that we don't really get to have all these events happening at the same time. So it was like, okay, so today is David Guetta in this part. Okay, fine. You know that Qatar is very small and Doha is even smaller. So it's like within 30 minutes, you move around the city. It was like, okay, David Guetta is at this time in this place. Okay, let's go. Okay, and then by this time, fulano, whoever else is in another point of the city. Okay, let's go. Like, you know, so. And then the match is gonna be at this time, so we have booked this place for okay, let's go. Like, yeah,
that's a lot of hustling and bustling.
Yeah, and it was like, it was funny because the fans, they came here and they were obviously on vacation. But for us, it was different because we had to manage the time to sleep, the time to work, and the time to enjoy. Because the vibe in here was just insane. I mean, insane in the good words. It was like people everywhere and like party on the street, like nice, like it was parades and things on the street, and wow.
Now, is there anything in your lifetime that you can invent that was even close to that?
No.
Not even in the ballpark.
No.
So, well, congratulations once again. So, once you like the year you had prepared, did you make like an outline for this? So, what was kind of your plan?
I didn't really have a plan as of the event. My plan is as of business in general. And I know that this business is on the bound to success. And for such, I have prepared. But not really for the event because I was clear that it was only 20 days. It was not even a month. It was just 20 days. And that was it. So like maybe a month before, I said, okay, guys, let's set up everything. Let's do double and triple what we normally do. And let's have stock. And that's what we did. And when the day came, I was like, is it enough? Because you always have that question, is it enough for the amount of people that we're expecting? And the days were passing and it was like, so yeah, my decisions were correct and we did what we had to do. So it's okay. We just keep on working. So that was basically the preparations to have a full stock, not full. It was like 2 or 3 times more than what we normally have. And yeah, that was it.
So let me ask you this. While during the event, let's say within like maybe the first like 6 days, y'all had kind of completely ran out of stock. Would you have been able to restock in a manageable time frame?
I mean, if we ran out of stock in 6 days, no. I mean, it was not going to be possible because we did so much. That was the preps. From the 100% that we would make for a month, we did 3 times more. And then during the time of the World Cup, we were going 100%. So it was like neither restaurants, coffee shops, stores in general, nor the activations that we had in Corniche. Corniche is like the marine walk where our kiosks were. Like none of them were out of kombucha or water kefir at no point. It's like I was right before. Like I was okay on what I had in my head, and that was sort of my plan.
Now, how did you calculate how much you would end up needing?
I didn't even calculate. It'll be like, okay, if in a month we have to produce 1,000 liters, we have to produce for these 20 days 3,000 liters, and that's what we did. Like that was my rough plan, because as of setup of the brewery, something else, we didn't do it for the World Cup. It's only quantities what we handle there for the World Cup, because everything else is due to it's just a consequence of the growth that we're having. So yeah.
Now I'm kind of going to like the marketing part of it. So how early before the event did you kind of try to get the word out that your product was going to be out there for the World Cup?
We restarted when I was in the hospital. That was March 2022. So I would say.
Oh, so you? Day, oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were planning for the World Cup from the hospital bed.
Yeah.
You do not sit still,
Yeah.
even when you're supposed to sit still.
I cannot sit still. That's not in my nature.
Oh, I'm fully aware of that. So did did you like any social media marketing, or I don't know if y'all would do like any way of kind of letting people know that your product would be out there if they wanted to go out and drink some while they was at the World Cup?
It was very simple. Actually, we had a couple of interviews with you. That one counted also, and a couple of interviews we had for a newspaper, El Navío, and everything else was very basic, like Instagram, webpage. Yeah, it was very basic because we work actually mouth to mouth. Our influencers are our clients, our customers that they consume it, and then they say, this is nice, this is tasty, and it's also something that is good for my body. And that's how we go. That's very organic. It's very basic, I would say. But as of paying ads and things like that, that it's not where we are heading to. We want to grow organically. That people say authentically that they love it.
With Doha being as small of a town as it is, the mouth to mouth, is it more feel more effective in Doha?
It is. Yeah.
And it kind of gives you, I guess, you trust a friend telling you about something than maybe a newspaper.
That's correct.
The newspaper,
and actually, newspapers, I don't see people reading newspaper nowadays. So
not even up there. Like, I mean, it's a
really
dying medium here as well.
How is there? Yeah.
Oh, it's not so good here. But it's been that way here for, I feel like at bare minimum, at least 10 years.
Right? Yeah, I think everywhere else.
So about
also
the same
because
there.
of the wastage of paper and all that, people are being more aware of it. So they have turned more into virtual channels, I guess. I don't know.
So do you almost like, they have like websites where you have to pay to read the articles? So,
I don't think you have to pay for reading articles and all that. I mean, there are certain magazines that are specialized and then you have to pay in order to read it. But from the rest, I don't think so. Like normal newspapers that they have gone into the virtual world and all that, I don't think so.
Okay, so yeah, that here, almost all of them, you got to pay now. Because they're still trying to monetize it. So, yeah, if Jeff Bezos ain't bought you, you're probably paying for it. Now,
well, that doesn't happen here. It's like if there is a news channel, it's actually I'll give you this example. The World Cup matches, normally in any other country, I think you have to pay in order to watch it on TV. If I'm wrong, just correct me. But in here, they put it free on YouTube. Like, watch it.
Yeah, that's about how we are here. Okay.
No, in here, it was like, there is a channel. I think it was Bein Sports. I'm not sure. But I think that's the one. And it was like, okay, people from everywhere, you can just watch it there. So, yeah, that's how it's here. Here is not really much about monetizing and like that.
We're very capitalistic here.
Yeah.
So the first day of the event, did you feel like nervousness at all? Any bit of overwhelming?
Yeah, the days before, because we didn't know what to expect and everything was like super quiet. Actually, the thing was that the days before, it was like, oh my God, the city is still the same. The city is still the same. Oh my God. Boom. The day that it began, it was like lots of people. The whole stadium full.
So it went like from 0 to 100.
It was 0 to 100 in one day. It's like it started.
So was it like because again, I've never been to an event like that. Was it like a different energy towards the city?
There was a different vibe. It was, yeah, because it was very lively. Actually, we began to experience the World Cup blues once it was done, because it ended on the 18th of December. And on the 18th of December, everything else stopped. All the concerts, all the parades, all the parties, everything stopped that day. So what we lived in those 20 days stopped that day. So it was like... so
did it feel like abrupt?
Yeah, it felt like it's over. And the people is gone. Like, you know, the tourists, oh my God. It was like the first drama was when Mexico lost. We loved the Mexican fans. They were so lively. They were like, and so funny, like super cute. Like they would use costumes and they would go around the city and they would make jokes and they would be on TikTok. Like they were amazing. They were a whole vibe. Then the second drama was when Saudi was out. We were like, no, why? Saudis are so... Like, I wouldn't expect. I thought they were less funny than what they actually are. But they are actually a vibe, a whole vibe. And they were also in TikTok and, you know, recording TikToks here and there and making fun of everything. And now, being like super cheerful.
The guy who did the words missing, was he Saudi?
Yeah, he was Saudi, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And even me, we would go out and I would see the guys with the flags, because mostly were guys, and I would be like, yes. Messi bueno, Casarnaeno. And they were like, with the flags. It was a whole vibe. And then when everyone left, eventually on the 18th, it was like, oh, we're gonna miss you so much. Come back. Let's do something else. I don't know, another World Cup, whatever. Like, because
so there's nothing to prepare you for an energy like that. It's just
no.
You just got to jump into it.
Yeah, and jump with a eye mask. Jump like blindly. You know, it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but just jump.
Now, the aspect of not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing how it's going to turn out. Now, I would think like maybe as a business owner, they can be exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Absolutely. It was exciting and terrifying, especially when I saw the week before that there was no one here. I was like, but they're not supposed to be here already? No. OIDA people, they don't go to a concert, to a place 1 week before. They come on the day of the concert. Same happens with the World Cup. And I was like, but the World Cup is the whole thing. It's like 20 days. It's like, it's a whole trip for everyone. Like people from around the world, they travel for this. Why they're not here? And yeah, just that day, boom.
So you thought it would have been like a gradual, that them gradually showing up? I thought it was going to be a
gradual thing, like, you know, step by step, 1 day, 2 days, like that. No, it was the day, boom.
Now, would you have preferred it that way, or did you like it just wham?
Either way. It would have been the same. So, yeah.
Now, imagine like with the World Cup, you've got people from different cultures, different nationalities. You pretty much have the world at your disposal. So, imagine, do they need like good networking opportunities for you?
I don't think the people that they come for World Cup, they are coming thinking of business. I mean, yeah, some, but not really. Actually, the weeks before, the months before, yes, it was a really great opportunity to talk to other business owners and see what was the strategy and all that. But during the World Cup, it was the time for fun, plain and fun. That's it. But yeah, the networking was done before.
So you said the months before. So were there like different business owners showing up? Or-
There were different people from different places that they were coming to set up business for that period of time. Like for the fan zones, like they put like some pop-up restaurants and things like that. And whoever the organizers for the concerts and all that, yeah.
So like about a month, you say what, maybe 6 months before, 3?
Yep, like 3 more than 6 actually, yeah.
So I guess that was the calm before the storm.
Yeah, actually until the day before, it was the calm before the storm. Because it was too calm for my taste.
So like before it happened, like how did you imagine it was going to happen before?
Before, I thought it was going to be gradual. Like a week before, like 2 weeks before, 1 week before, on the day, like, you know, it was going to be like a ladder. But no. Everything
it just
was
said, here's the party.
Uh-huh.
We'll be back in 20 days. Have fun.
Have fun. To the point that after 20 days, we were all exhausted. I mean, we as of whoever lives and works here, it's like,
now,
but we were also mixing the vibes. Yeah.
Did you think people were more, because again, when people go to sporting events, they're not usually thinking of a healthier drink option. And you got different cultures, ethnicities. Did you get a sense of people were more open to try your product than, or there had to be some like convincing?
For these type of events, you don't really know, but you have to be there. You have to show up anyways. There are the people that they will only have a sugary soda, and then there are other people that they are more health conscious and they would go for something that is low in sugar, high in benefits. So we encountered everything. And about convincing people, not really, because most of the people, the fans that they come from Latin America, from Europe, from America, they already know the product as of the definition. What's kombucha, what's water kefir, because it's something that is widely known there. So when they come and they see it, it's like, okay, cool. And it's the only place where we have seen it. It's the only brand that we have seen it in here. Like, you know, is it a Qatari product? Oh, cool. Like, interesting. We had some fans even for the drink, because at some point we put for the 2 kiosks that we had in Corniche, we put only kombucha of ginger and kombucha of hibiscus plain. So I was like doing trials to see what was the favorite, and it'll be like, okay, one day I would leave the cylinder because they had draft kombucha. They didn't have bottles. They had the draft, like for the beer.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what we do. We do bottles and we do draft as well. And I would leave there like only hibiscus. Some people were coming back to that same place for the ginger, for the other option. And it was like, okay, we have here the hibiscus one and the ginger one is exhausted. I like the hibiscus, but I like more the ginger. When are you gonna have that one? So the same people would go on the day, the guys that were working there would tell them, okay, on this day, ginger is gonna be here. They even had to take phone numbers, like, okay, we're gonna text you whenever the ginger one or the other one is gonna be available, like, you know. So we had a couple of fans, and they were not from here, huh? They were
so you was able to take this event to even kind of get a sense of what flavors would work the best.
Yeah.
So you was able to get some intel. So kind of give me a sense of what a day was like for you during the World Cup.
be a day. Wake up, have breakfast, go to the gym, go to a facility, have a normal day of work, and then after that, well, during that, plan for the later evening in order to see where we're going, what we're doing. Then go home, try to sleep a few hours, 3-4 hours, then next day, repeat.
So what time were you getting up?
By 8 or 9.
So usually when I hear like people who like own business, they're waking up at like 5 in the morning.
It was impossible because everything was shutting down, like all the concerts and everything, they were shutting down by 3 in the morning. And we were trying to do as much as we could because we're not going to be able to have those vibes in this city in another event. I mean, not as the World Cup because it's the mega event. So we really tried to do as much as we could.
Now, did you have to get like more help than normal for this event?
Did I have to?
Did you have to get any like extra help?
But we had it from before actually, so it's okay.
You was manned up and prepared.
Yeah, because when it comes to this type of industry, you're expecting growth, and we have been seeing that from the time that we started. And slowly but surely, it was like in 1 month we hired 2 people, in the other month we hired another one, and then in another month we hired another one, and like that.
So would you say the growth that you were having kind of prepared you for this event a bit?
Not only for the event, it's like for the life. Because for the event it was only 20 days. I knew that what we had to do, it was like to work more, to have things prepared, organized, like, I need this flavor, and this flavor already, 1,000 bottles each. So it was like we only have to prepare for that. That's it. So if in a normal day we would work, 5 hours, then we would extend it to 8 hours, which is actually a normal shift of work, 8 hours.
Yeah,
so
definitely is here.
Yeah.
So let's say if this event had came to you all, let's say maybe 2 months after you had started, how prepared do you think you would have been then?
No.
Yeah, your eyes are even saying that.
We would have been able to make it, but if it were like 2 months after I started,
yeah,
thinking about, I was in a hospital, and after 2 months, actually when we had the interview that time, I was still in wheelchair. You remember?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were sitting. I didn't really see the chair.
Yeah,
but you definitely were sitting.
Because for me, it was like at least 3 or 4 months in a wheelchair. Yeah.
Oh, you'd have been rolling all over the place.
See? Yeah.
You'd have had some strong arms, though.
Huh?
You'd have had some ripped arms the way you'd have been rolling that wheelchair.
For sure. For
you
sure.
You just be in the gym doing leg days. Your arms would have been good.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Now, like I said, the event, it's the last day of the event, everything is it's winding down. Like, so how long it took you to kind of recover from that?
I think until 12th of January. It's like I took things slowly until 12th of January. I think so.
The event was 20 days.
Actually, it should be the new year. Should be illegal to have it on 31st of December. It should be in March, with the spring, because it's like, it's the middle of winter is dark. It's still dark. Like,
Now, how cold does it get there?
Doesn't really match. Huh?
Because I mean, you're kind of giving me the sense it has like a music festival vibe as well. And usually those music festivals are in the summer. So I see what you mean by that.
Here, summer is 50 degrees.
50?
50, maybe more.
So
And it's
what's your-
humid, very humid.
I mean, it's humid where I am, but I'm guessing y'all's humid's a different kind of humid.
Here is, I don't know, maybe it's the same because there are a few days, there are like 10 days that it gets, I don't know, 85%, 90% of humidity in here.
Yeah, that
Like
could
normally
be here
that's
too.
like August, September, yeah.
Yeah, that's when the dead animals are roasting. So that would
Okay.
that's us as well.
Yeah.
So it took you. Now, did you just kind of like rest, or didn't focus anything on work, or was it slight rest and was still kind of keeping an eye out?
It was slight rest and, keeping an eye, but taking it slower than normal, actually. So, yeah.
Now, did you think did you almost kind of plan for it before? Like, I'm probably going to need some time to recalibrate after this. Yes.
Yeah. Even for vacations, you need a vacation. It's like you go on vacation, 10 days, fantastic, wherever you go, I don't know, Bahamas, whatever. And then you come back, and when you come back, you need at least 3 to 4 days to recover, all the creams on, a lot of hydration. Like, you need a vacation of the vacation. So, yeah.
Now that you say that, my sister mentioned that to me once, especially like after her wedding.
Yeah.
Went to a honeymoon. Like, you never think you need a break from your break. But it's like that, all that adjusting back to work. Because that first day back, you're not really there. Like, so it almost takes you. I know for me, when I take a vacation from work, it almost takes me to get back in the groove of things like maybe 3 days. But you experience a once in a lifetime event, so you definitely needed more than that. Now, sidebar: did you have a team that you were rooting for in the World Cup?
Just Qatar, I think. Yeah. Whenever Qatar was playing, we were there.
Now, would you say you're a little bit more of a fan now after all this?
I enjoy. I laugh and I cheer and I I can do that. Fantastic. I know who Ronaldo is, Messi, this one, la la la. All of them, I know, but it's not like I'm a fan. No, not really.
Well, I guess not a fanatic per se.
Yeah, no.
So, I've seen it on TV, and you can tell it's a great energy to see on TV. But there are certain things that when you go to live, like the TV just doesn't give it justice. Would you say the World Cup is something like that?
I think so, yeah. Especially because there was so much criticism before the World Cup started.
Yes.
Like the whole world were just saying a lot of ugly things about the country and the event and how it was going to be and and they were even predicting that it was going to be the worst World Cup ever. And then when it started and it went so flawless, and at the beginning, I would say the first week, the media wouldn't give justice to what was going on, everything that we were living here, as of how fun it was, how safe it was, how beautiful it was. I think maybe on the day number 10, we began to hear that the media was saying, okay, this is great. Okay, we have to say good things about this country and these people.
So it almost felt like they was waiting on something to happen.
They were waiting for this to be a failure, but we were preparing for 12 years at least for this event. So what could go wrong?
Now, and I think Doha may have been the smallest place that they've had the World Cup. I believe. I'm not sure.
I think so. Yeah. And people, the fanatics that they have been going to different World Cups around the world, they were saying like, oh, it was a shame that they didn't know how these, because there was such a bad media out there that they didn't focus on what matters. That is that this country is small, and the transportation system is so good, and they made it so easy for everyone, because buses and metro were for free. So the fans, with the hire car that they had, they could travel from one side of the country, from Al Hora Stadium to Al Sumama Stadium on the other side of the city, within 45 minutes or an hour, or maybe less. They would be there. Like, it was for these people that they have been going to these kind of events before. They were like, it was so easy to move around that they didn't know why they didn't buy more tickets, because they could have done it. For instance, in Russia, you had to go on an airplane and go to the next city in order to attend a different game. And on the next World Cup, it's going to be the same, because it's Mexico, US, and Canada. So they're going to have plane tickets to go to one game and then to the other game, and because I guess it's not going to be on the same stadium all the time. Like, they're not going to play two games on the same place, so they will have to travel, actually. And in here, they didn't have to. They just,
it was more convenient, actually.
It was super convenient.
I didn't even think about it. Now,
and it was like there were events that they were for free, and there were events that they had like a different rate, and like that, until whatever high end you could afford. And there were everything for everyone.
I didn't, because usually when I hear about World Cup, they're always in bigger cities. So do you think that Doha may have incidentally set a blueprint for more smaller cities to be considered for the World Cup in the future?
I believe that Qatar has set a blueprint in so many ways. First of all, because this was the first World Cup ever in which a kombucha and water kefir was present. That's the first. That's the first thing, okay? Then the second one is that it was the first time to be made in an Arab country. The third is that, of course, it's the smallest place where they have done this type of events. I don't think there is a smaller country than this one, other than the Vatican. But yeah, they have set a blueprint, and a really high-end blueprint, because what people lived while they were here, they're not going to live it anywhere else. Because the amount of security, the amount of benefits that they had throughout the whole event, they're not going to witness it anywhere else. And I'm sure people who came for this World Cup, they will go for another one in another country, and they will say, oh, I miss Qatar, and these people, they were good. So yeah. Now,
also, I think this is probably the most, I learned about Qatar from you. Knowing you, that's how I learned about it. I think the World Cup, and you can probably attest to this better than I can, it caused more people worldwide to learn about your country. So are you seeing there being maybe some people returning just to visit, or just becoming somewhat of a vacation spot?
They are in the process to make of Qatar a more touristic place. They're constructing a water park. They are having more and more attractions. Every month they are opening more and more. Recently they have received, I think, if it was not one, it was two cruise ships with I don't know how many thousands of people, and like little by little is becoming a touristic place. I don't really know what's the vision, but I think they're on the right path. And I haven't seen, as of now, because it's been, 3 months after, I haven't seen people returning. But I'm sure that people who came, they're going to be most likely coming back, either for a vacation or just a transit, a connection place to go somewhere else and just stay 2 or 3 days. And they're going to stop and stay for those 2 or 3 days. I believe, most probably that's going to happen.
Now, we're saying like how the World Cup could have been a benefit for the country of Qatar. Now, does the World Cup also kind of help gain more popularity to your business? Like having people know your business from that's not from Qatar, that may be from America, that may be Canada, some people from Brazil or Europe, per se. This is more of like it's making your brand a little bit more worldwide.
Absolutely. There was a considerable amount of exposure there. And that is something that I really love, because it was not only our people here in Qatar, it was, everyone else from everywhere else. So there was an important amount of exposure there. In, for instance, a Brazilian, that they are one of those countries that they are really top with kombucha, that they say, oh, I tried this Tierra Viva in Qatar and it was great. It was delicious. It was fresh. Subtle, fantastic. It's a big deal. So, yeah.
So what people people from what countries do you think were a little bit more perceptive of your product than you would have thought? To kind of wrap things up, if somebody else was in this position, they had a company and the World Cup was coming to them, and they wanted to kind of get advice from you to how to prepare for that event, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to just jump into it. If they have the opportunity to be an official product of the World Cup and you are into these type of healthy drinks, just take it and prepare. If what you're doing is, I don't know the capacity of whoever, but the capacity that you have now, just make it 3 times more or even more, because in here, because of the conditions, it's a small country and we were expecting less people. But for instance, in US, Mexico and Canada is going to be much more people because you have even much more capacity. So I would say just prepare ahead. If your capacity is, 1,000 bottles per week, prepare 5,000 bottles per week and have them in store. Like these products, they last for a year. So just have them there, stock. Begin 3 or 4 months before. And that would be my advice. And of course, I believe when you're in this type of industries, it's because you already have a connection with your product and you're doing them from heart. So believe in it and love it, and just jump into it. If you have an opportunity like this one, just jump into it and take it.
Va Montiel. Montiel, no! Argentina campeón del mundo. Argentina campeón del mundo. Argentina campeón del mundo. Argentina campeón del mundo. Argentina.